What's up?
Hi.
How's it going?
Haha. Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
I wasn't sure I was doing it right.
Oh, you got there in the end? You got there?
I got there in the end. I did.
Been up too much? How was your weekend?
No, I've been sick.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So I've just gone back to work today
Yeah.
after 5 days off.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Damn.
that's all right. I'm alive.
It's good. It's good you're alive.
Hmm.
So we'll wait a little bit to see if anyone else is going to jump on. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it's just me and you. So is it just like a
Oh,
flute? Is it just a flute?
yeah. So not too bad.
Yeah.
Sorry, because all my best efforts and plans last week just went right out the window.
Damn.
So that's all right. Today's a new day.
Yeah. Back on the horse. Oh,
Yeah.
awesome. Awesome. So I guess your weekend was didn't get up too much, just was in bed.
Yep. Didn't do much at all. Well, I did get out yesterday.
Yeah.
Went and saw a friend yesterday. Because yesterday was probably the first day that I started feeling better.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So yeah, that's all.
All good. All good. Okay. Well, we'll just get started anyways, and if anyone jumps on,
Yeah.
uh, we can go to it. So pretty much like it's really important for us to like when we're doing something new, going for a new journey. It's important to be open. As you know,
Yeah.
I talked about it before. It's the brain always wants to freak out, so it's called a reptilian brain. So it's really important to be aware of that because, like, when you're in a new situation, it seems scary. It's so easy to go back to old ways, and to let the old habits creep in. But it's important to remember, okay, this is just the reptilian brain, and whenever things are uncomfortable, that's when it kicks in. And then with the limbic brain that I put here, it's like our emotions, and your cortex is just the information. So it's that. Then from here, what I want to go over again is we did this on the Facebook group before, but what I want you to write down is your 5 top values. You can even do it on your phone. So this is kind of like the thing. Like for me, like I have to. For me, like I have to feel loved. I have to give love, and I have to love what I'm doing. So that's my number one. Number 2
Yeah.
is health because I need to be healthy, survive, and it makes me feel good. And then 3 is freedom because I like to feel free. I don't like being I don't like to feel restricted. 4 is I want to create, um, and 5 is that I want to impact. So those are my 5.
You want me to do that now?
Yes, please.
Okay. So oh um mm, I'm stuck. Hang on.
It's okay.
Okay, got them.
Cool. And what are they?
So I've got family,
Nice.
because that's number one.
Yep.
Health, obviously with pain issues and what have you.
Yeah.
What would come next would be live. So to be able to sort of, live your life and be free, move around freely and get out and enjoy what you're doing and enjoy, your downtime and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Balance, so having that work-life balance so that you've got time to do all the things that are important to you.
Yeah.
And time, which is obviously links in with the balance.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's great. Really good.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I find that, if you live by those things and you're aware of them, that's what you want subconsciously, then you'll feel really good about it. And if you stick to those and you remember them and go back to them, it really helps. And if you reflect and you're like, oh, actually, for me, I feel like I haven't feel free, or I haven't exercised that much this month, or whatever. I haven't been that creative, or I feel like I've been impacting the way I have. Then I can be like, okay, well, I'll feel a lot better next month. This is what I concentrate on. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. One of the so this talk is a lot about goal setting. You've already done a vision board, so that's fine.
I haven't done it actually.
Oh, you haven't? Okay, that's a goal for you to do.
No, but I'm going to do it because that's on the plan.
Good. Awesome. And another one, something else that I would like you to do as well, is just map out 1 to 5 goals. I'll give you a little bit of time to write it out. So my ones is I'm getting married this year. I want my online business doing well. I want my one-on-one business doing well. I want to buy a ute, and I want to be at 85 kilos for my wedding. So different things, different goals for different areas of life.
So I think I have some of that, I think, already.
Awesome.
Because that was really only focused on number 1 goal. So we haven't got to the 5 yet, but we've got the first one done.
Oh yeah.
So that's cool. That's I sort of did the first one, and then the things that I need, the steps I need to do.
Oh.
So sorry if I cough in your ear.
Oh, that's okay.
So yeah, I was going to send you a photo of this actually.
Okay, so sweet.
I might put it. I can put it on my vision board probably anyway.
Yeah, sweet, awesome.
Cool.
All right. And then I guess if you want, in your own time, maybe you can do the other 5. That's cool.
I will.
All right, sweet, awesome, cool. So now something I want you to do is reflecting is really important, because to move forward we have to reflect and give gratitude, but also see where our shortcomings were. So if you can write down let's just say 1 or 2 wins, 1 or 2 shortcomings, and 1 or 2 learnings you have learned over these last 3 months.
Okay, so okay. So the wins will be the getting some of that movement back that I was losing.
Yeah.
Becoming, finding it easier to climb the stairs and that kind of thing.
Yeah. Cool.
And of course, the losing the 7 kilos.
Yeah. Right.
The shortcomings. The shortcomings will be my shortcomings will be I don't know how to put it. Not being fully motivated.
Yeah.
Enough to get to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from when I've been working out with you.
Yeah.
And to get on top of the eating better.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And it's like, letting challenging times just overtake me, just not really even trying.
Yeah.
And what else? Learnings.
2 things.
Learning. I don't know. Learnings would be probably I guess one of the learnings would be that I didn't realise how much of the pain and stuff I was having was due to not exercising.
Yeah.
Now that I'm exercising, some of that pain's going and I'm not having those issues anymore.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And that never occurred to me before. So that would probably be a key one for me.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome.
And I don't know what else.
That's okay. That's fine.
But that was a big one for me. Yeah.
Awesome. No, for sure. For sure. No, that's a good one. So the next one we're gonna do is so your prime interest. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 things that you would want, maybe in 6 months' time to a year's time. So like the people you want to be around, the places you want to go, the activities, the things, the information. So like with me, I want to kind of be with more like my circle of influence. I want it to be more that people who are like in business or who are like better than me, or just people that are who are better than me, that it pushes me to become better, and not just be around always my circle of friends who I went to high school with or who I grew up with, even though they're awesome. Just I like to spend more time with like-minded people. Places, activities I want to do, things I want, and information. So I didn't mind. So I want you to do the same.
Okay.
A lot of writing for you.
A
lot of writing for you today.
Yeah, kind of writing and sticking. Got stick-it notes. So probably being around other photographers.
Yeah.
Because that means that I'm getting out and being more active by getting out with them and, taking photography trips and, which means, of course, more walking and activity and that kind of thing.
Yeah, cool. This is awesome.
And that in turn goes to going places, going to lots of lots of different places. You know, we'd take trips and go out of town and go to places to look for, you know, great scenery and places to take good landscapes and things like that.
Yeah, that's cool. Awesome. Two birds with one stone.
Yeah. Activities builds into the same thing again. Photography. Although we're going this weekend, we're going and taking part in a classic car rally.
Oh, cool.
So it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Probably not as good for the exercise side of things because you're sitting in the car most of the time.
Yeah.
But still, it's getting away with a whole different group of people.
Yeah.
And, you know, potentially meeting new people, making new friends.
Yeah.
Who, you know, from a different walk of life sort of thing.
Yeah.
What's that things?
So any things like, for example, I said watches and shoes, but it could be like anything like a while ago, like I wanted to, like for example, I wanted a new phone or like I wanted a new iPad or like could be things like that. It could be a new camera.
So I want a new camera.
Yeah.
And if I don't want a new camera, then I want a new camera lens for the camera I've got.
Yeah.
So I'm tossing up with what that'll be, whether I'll look at because my camera is a big full frame, it's quite heavy.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm thinking maybe looking at something a bit smaller, a bit lighter. That's a bit easier to carry around as well.
Yeah.
So that's probably my big thing.
Cool. Awesome.
What's the last one? Information.
Yeah. So my one was like I wanted to learn about growing my online business. I did this actually a few months ago. I just left it over and I was like, oh, goal. I haven't done goal setting talk in ages. So.
Yeah. So I guess I'd kind of like to learn about. I had set up a website for my photography.
Yeah.
But I need to learn more about, you know, the whole internet side of it and the SEO and all that kind of stuff to actually try and get some benefit from it rather than just have it sort of sitting there.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
So that's probably my 5.
Cool. Awesome. That's great. That's awesome. So this is a tip that I have in it's write out your goals every day. I see a spelling mistake that I made. I wrote right instead of right. Okay. Need to change that.
Yeah. Easy to do.
Yeah. So yeah, write out your goals every day and they'll keep them in top of mind. And it's a good habit and a good ritual to get into.
Right, yeah.
So mindset mastery. So how to be a leader. So talk about how to be a leader. And to be a leader is that you have to first lead yourself. So that means that if you want anyone else to change or if you want anyone else to do something, you have to do it first and set the example. And then they would want to do it. For like example, when I first started getting to the gym, no one in my family ever went to the gym. I started going, I was doing well. And all of a sudden, without me even saying anything, my brother joined the gym, my sister joined the gym. My other brother asked about training with me. Then my mum, for the first time ever, went on a change their eating habits without anyone saying anything. So it's crazy what can happen when you just sort your own stuff out.
Yeah, true.
And this is called setting your standards. So this is like your non-negotiables. Like no matter what happens, no matter what, like this is the bare ass minimum that I had to do. Like for example, it could be like with you, when you start training with me again, you're like, I have to at least see John once a week, and then I have to go on like 3 walks, and that's like the
minimum standard.
Minimum standard. So you have to write down in your own time, or if you want, you can do it now. What you're setting your standards for, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. So
Yeah.
that's cool. I will do that afterwards because that'll be part of my book.
Yeah. So this one hit home for me when, for me, and it's just like, are you a liar? And when I first heard this, I was like, of course I'm not a liar. I always like tell the truth. But the thing is that us as humans, that we don't like usually we don't like lying to other people, right? But we lie to ourselves a lot. Like, we woke up in the morning, we said we're going to go to the gym. We're like, oh yeah, we're going to go to the gym. We're going to go to the gym. And then as soon as we kind of don't feel like it, we don't go. Like, or we say, hey, this year is going to be my year. I'm going to lose the weight and I'm going to get super fat and I'm going to save heaps of money and I'm going to book a trip. And then we don't do it. And every time we do that, it's actually that, we're actually lying. And it really hit home for me. And this is a cute pug in the photo as well.
It is a cute pup.
So, and that's when, the most important thing is actually, changing those values, and pretty much values are the stories that we tell ourselves, right? And the narratives, we need to stop those narratives that we tell ourselves, like the stories that, oh, like I'm tired. But really, if you actually change, it's like, well, are you actually tired?
Yeah.
Like when those stories creep in, you have to be like aware of it to actually stop it. And once you change, as I talked about filters, when you change that filter and you change that story for a new story, then you'll be able to see differently. Like for example, sometimes it's 8:15. I don't really feel like I love it when I start doing them, but with these talks, like since it's like quite late at night, I don't always maybe I can just tell the ladies I can reschedule. I'm like, no. I'm like, John, that's what a lazy person would do. Like, people are counting on you. Go to balls and do it.
Yeah.
So, it's catching yourself out when that story saying, oh, actually I'm tired. You've had a long day. You go to the gym tomorrow. It's like, no. We're changing that.
Yeah. No, well, that's it, and that's why I'm here tonight.
Yeah.
Basically, it's like, no, you have to get up, because if I wasn't here, all I'd be doing would be sitting on the couch watching TV. So, there's no effort involved in logging into this.
Yeah.
Just, obviously to get in there. But other than that, I'm still sitting, not on the couch, on my bed, but, but I'm doing something constructive with my time instead of just watching TV.
Yeah, exactly. That's awesome. So there's that one. And talked about this before, and it's pretty much, so these are all neurons. Is this gonna work? Maybe. Alright, it's not working. But anyway, you kind of can see how it all works. So now neurons are how kind of they make up our brain, and they bind together to make a neurological pattern. And that's pretty much our habits, right? It's habits being done over and over again. And the more we run that pattern, the stronger it gets. And it's like being stuck in the rut. So every time we do a bad habit, it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. So what we actually have to do instead is that we have to replace that bad habit with a good habit. And that's the easiest way to break a bad habit, is replacing it with a good habit. So it's really important to find what we can substitute. So for example, instead of having like a full sugar soda, have like diet soda or lemon and um, sparkling water or whatever they call it, right?
Hmm.
And doing little changes like that, or instead of like instead of sitting in a home watching TV, you can actually oh I feel like actually instead I'm going to go for a walk and just replace
Mm.
bad with a good. Instead of going to McDonald's, you go to Peter Pit. Instead of going to KFC, you go and get chicken on rice from the sushi place. Just
Yeah.
the small things will makes the biggest difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
So finding even if you in your own time, if you write down the bad habits that you're doing at the moment and what something you can replace it with is a really good activity to do.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Cool. So these are your habits and rituals that I also we can do. Um, we'll do this one together now. So habit. What are your habits and rituals? So like my one is that I do cold showers. I don't saying you have to
Hmm.
do this, but I did. So me and my friends we did cold showers like for 30 days just to try
Yeah.
and build some discipline. And then I
Uh-huh.
exercise 6 times a week, lifting weights, and I run 3 times a week. So
Oh, okay.
what are habits and rituals um, that you want to do? Just one or two.
Oh. Um. Okay. So one will be to walk every lunchtime.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Um. Because that was really good when I was doing that.
Yeah.
And um, to go to the gym 3 times a week.
Nice. Awesome. Very good.
Okay.
And so this next one is I talked about it before, I think to you, and it's discipline equals freedom. So people see discipline as this like kind of like extremely like restrictive, bad word, like you can't do anything, like being disciplined or getting disciplined. But the thing with actually discipline is that if you're disciplined with your goals, your habits, your routines, your rituals, and you do everything you need to do, the thing that's bugging you, because the reason why we have goals is that we actually want to change something. We don't like a current situation. So if we actually be
Hmm.
disciplined with the things that we have to do to get to our goals, they'll actually equal our freedom.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah. So there's that one. I've talked about this before, so skip that. So this one is pretty cool. So sometimes challenges arise, right? And it's really hard when you're in situations and you kind of um, you can't think straight and you just react. Like for example, um, like let's say if someone's mean to you at work and you know and they're just being totally out of line and you just start reacting back, but then
Yeah.
it doesn't help the situation. So this is an association guide to to try and get you into a better state of mind so you can think more clearly when challenging situations happen. So pretty much what you want to do is you want to associate with the situation. So
Hmm.
connect with it and just be like, okay, this is how I feel. This is the situation right now. Um, and yeah, and how do I feel about attacking this? And then what you have to do after that, they call it dissociation. So kind of dissociate and visualize yourself, looking at yourself from a bird's eye view.
Yeah.
Or even if you can change your state or change the situation, if you go for a walk or a run, or just kind of have a moment to, to take have a bit of space.
Yeah.
And then what you do after that is you kind of in the visualization, you look down at yourself, you're like, okay, so this is what I can do about it. This is probably the best thing to do. So the best thing to do is actually probably go tell, instead of arguing, then maybe it'd be best to go get my boss involved. Then we can find a resolution to this, and then find the most positive way. And then after that, you actually do it and you take action. Cool?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, and so I've done this before and it's kind of helped. Like I had this one client back in any time who signed up with me, and she had some ridiculous requests and she wanted to lose all this weight in a certain period of time. And I told her it would take longer than it actually needed to be. And anyway, she signed up anyways, and we did a few sessions. And then she's like, "Oh, I've only lost this amount of weight. Like, I want to stop and I want a refund." And I was just like, "What the fuck? Like, this
yeah, right.
It's like this has never happened to like me my whole history." But she was like, making a big fuss, like wanted to speak to my manager and then I was like, okay, well, she's only done like 2 or 3 sessions. It would just be so much easier if at first I was upset, but then once I did this, I was like, okay, it'd be just so much more easier if I just refunded her and I didn't have to talk to her ever again. And then I could just find better clients who aren't cheapskates and not want ridiculous things with little to no work at all. So
yeah.
that's why this one is super good. Cool. Awesome. So I did this last time. It was last week, but I love doing this. So this is called the Wheel of Life, and I'll do it with you over.
Yeah.
So out of 10, how would you rate your health at the moment?
Maybe a 5.
Yeah. Cool. And hobbies?
Hobbies? Probably about a 5 again.
Yeah. Partner? Do you have like a partner?
0.
Fair enough.
0 out of 10.
That's all good. Family?
Family, family, 9. Probably 9 out of 10.
Nice. Physical?
Yeah. 5.
Yeah. Career?
Career, 7.
Spiritual?
Spiritual, I don't really have sort of spiritual, I don't think.
That's okay. So good. We just won't put anything for this one. Cool. Okay, sweet. So, and is a partner anything like you care about at the moment, or not really?
What's that?
Like the partner one, is that something like the?
It would be nice, but it's not the end of the world.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. That's cool. All right. All good. Um, so it looks like career's good and family's like amazing, which is really good.
Yeah,
Is health, physical, and hobbies.
yeah,
So you already are working on the health and physical. Uh,
yeah.
is there any way to improve your hobbies? Is it that like you need more hobbies, or it's like you don't have enough time for the hobbies you like?
It's probably linking the health to the hobbies, because of, the getting out and
Yeah,
being active kind of thing with the photography and that. I do have others, but I probably they're again more around sitting and doing stuff indoors rather than outdoors.
yeah. Okay, yeah. Cool. Awesome. Awesome. So yeah, if we get your health and physical, then the hobbies will go up anyway. That's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome. Cool. So now we're going to go over identity.
Hmm.
So I gave my examples of an identity that I had before. So when I was a kid, my identity was a fat kid. I just felt that I was just super fat.
Uh-huh.
I was the fattest in my class, and I thought that's just who I was. Um,
Yeah,
my the identity that really helped me shift from that identity was that I was a soccer player and I was an athlete and I needed to exercise and eat right.
yeah.
Cool. So
Mm.
what is an identity that in the past that you had, or that an identity that you have now, and what's the identity that's going to get you to your goals?
Probably in the past was a failure,
Oh,
and I don't really have an identity now. Um, unless I could probably say, um, trying to be a photographer.
yeah, yeah. Photographer would be like a healthy photographer.
Yeah, because like ideally, I'd love to get out and do, family portraits of kids and that kind of thing. But to do
Yeah,
that, you've got to be able to move fairly quickly,
yeah.
and be able to get up and down from the level of the kids kind of thing. Um, so yeah, that would probably be the best part.
Okay, awesome, awesome. And so now we're going to be talking about beliefs. So my belief when I was a kid, the reason why I was fat was because of my mum.
Yeah.
Um, my new belief is I have full control of my life. So, what is some of your old beliefs and what's some of your new beliefs?
So I probably had that same belief, the old one.
Yeah,
Um, and now it is like, I'm responsible for me,
yeah, yeah,
and um, you know, nobody else is in control of what I put in my mouth, kind of thing.
yeah. So, very similar to mine. So
Yeah.
probably why we can relate so well. So, something I wanted to talk about is actions. So,
Yeah.
pretty much, it's important to um, taking massive action. So, like, because I talk about a lot of like other stuff, but the thing with taking action is that we live in a world where we live in we have so much information that leads to procrastination. And sometimes because I give my clients so much information, that sometimes I think it can get overwhelming. So the most
Mhm.
important thing is that action builds momentum, and action,
Yeah.
if you take action, it builds belief. And once you have belief in yourself, then you actually start valuing what you're doing. And it's that change cycle that I've talked about in the past. And once you
Mhm.
value what you're doing, then your identity starts to shift from someone who is like gym goer to like, yeah, I go to the gym. Like instead of before when you just like when you like I remember there was times where or I had clients where I've noticed identity shift where they would come and have sessions with me, but they wouldn't tell anyone they went to the gym. And the ones that were more serious about it would talk about it more with their friends and then be posting photos, so on and so forth. I'm not saying that you have to do that, but it's just interesting that the actions and the commitments goes into it's like a domino effect. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I getcha.
Yeah, so like the most important thing is just keep on taking action, especially in the beginning when you really, really don't feel like it. Especially like when and it happens to me too as well. That you had those like if you have those 2 or 3 weeks that you haven't been going or you haven't been consistent, and you really want to be going. Let's say for example 3 times a week, but you've only been doing 1 or 2, and then like
Yeah,
you get that third one in, and it's just action and just doing
yeah,
this and feel like it. Does that make sense?
yeah.
And this is something that I love to talk about, is that everything is a mirror, because unfortunately I feel like social media like amplifies this a lot, but that everything is a mirror. So
Yeah.
it's really important in our journey that we're going to come up against negative people, and they might say something um, to you, but it's like a reflection um, of themselves. Like I was at a party a few years ago, and a guy I went to school with was kind of making fun of me, saying, "Oh, like you think you're a personal trainer? You're not even like muscly or tank or like what the hell?" Like he was just being a dick, and I just was like,
Yeah.
"Okay, whatever." I like just ignored him, and then I found like I told one of my mates, and he's just like, he's just angry because he hasn't been employed in 3 years, and he's a drug addict. And I was just like, oh.
Right.
And then I was just like, oh. And then after that, I felt really bad for him because he's so much in the hole. The only thing that he can do is bring others down. So what I always
Yeah.
say, if someone's negative or saying something to you, it's just a reflection of themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or when I was trying to become healthy, I had heaps of friends that were trying to stop me from doing it, or they'll make fun of me for it, but it's because they weren't able to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes it sucks because sometimes that guy I didn't really care about, but sometimes it can be like family members, it can be really close friends, and that does suck.
Yeah, it does, when it's like that.
So and so this is the power of focus. So the thing that we focus on the most is what we get right. So the power of focus, really concentrating on the things we want and keeping them, like I said before, on top of mind. Because the more we concentrate on it, and the more we work towards it, the more likely we're going to get it. The more we knock on the door, eventually it's going to open. So if you keep on focusing on the health and fitness goals, we're going to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Go. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about, I've said it millions of times, but comparison is the thief of joy. So I think a lot of us get stuck in this trap of comparing ourselves, and I've done it before, and I've even now pull myself up on it because I'm just I have to remember like, hey, like I've got a lot of things going for me, and it's important to concentrate what's on my plate and to be thankful for what I have. And it's funny because I realized talking to a few of my friends that I'm really close with that we were actually all comparing each other to ourselves at one
Yeah.
point. It's just like, it's like, so I'm jealous of him, he's jealous of me. It's like, and it's like, it's a bad cycle. So it's always important to come from a place of gratitude, and yeah, just being grateful for what we have. And then once we do that, it'll just, the knock-on effect is huge.
Yeah. Cool.
So yeah, so that's pretty much all for today. So thank you so much, Chris, for jumping on and talking to me. But yeah,
That's all right.
you've got a little bit of work to do, so that's pretty cool.
I have got a little bit of work to do, yes.
Yeah, very cool.
But that's cool. So
Awesome.
that will give me something to do the next couple of nights.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I'll see you if you're free next week. Jump on the call, but if not, I'll see you like soonish at the gym when you're back.
Yeah. As soon as we get this trip out of the way and everything, we'll get back into it.
All right.
And from there on in, it should be plain sailing, I think, without any more interruptions.
That sounds great. I can't wait. Let's do it.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Bye.
See you. Bye.